Hi, I'm David Pollicino, software engineer at Microsoft, and today we'll talk about the importance of having a career mentor. First of all, when you need a mentor, when you have either a short, medium, long-term plan associated to your own personal achievement or career progression expectations, ideally you may want to have a mentor, a person who has more experience with you in a determined area, industry, or type of company which you're looking forward to scale up or join into in the medium term. Let's manage a little bit of expectations. When you meet a person, it's not always guaranteed that that person will be a perfect match for yourself. So make sure to deep dive into her or his own experience, try to understand what can be the added value from that person, try to understand if that person is available so they can can have a call at least every 2-3 weeks, depends on your own needs or kind of support that you're looking forward, and then potentially experiment a mentorship relationship. Make sure on the other side that you have clear expectations towards what you want to achieve, and you create a medium-term plan with your mentor itself. Medium terms could be, hey, in the next 6-5 calls, we're going to explore topics A, B, C, and so on. If instead is a career mentorship associated to skill gaining, you want to make sure that you have a learning outcome-driven plan with associated hands-on experience, something which ideally you can reuse as asset into your CV or other selling channels for your own personal brand or career progression. So as we said, it's not always guarantees that a mentor is a perfect match. It's always good to try. Is it fine to have more than one mentor? Absolutely. I do have more than one mentor. I have a technical mentor, a person who is more inclined into leadership. Indeed, she is a technical principal software engineer here at Microsoft, and she has definitely more experience than me towards leadership, team management, communication skills, scaling up, of course, within the company from a software engineer, individual contributor role into a people manager, which is something I strive to achieve too. And that's basically how the match is also based for. Third, expectations for a mentorship is perfectly fine to pivot to your mentorship plan. Interests may change, priorities may change, even the market landscape may change. In that case, it's perfectly fine to get your initial plan edit, updated, and reevaluate if the mentor is still a match based on your own new needs and interests and priorities. Fourth point, the mentor is not your client. So do not focus just about, hey, yes, this week was great. I have achieved goal A, B, C from our own weekly goals. Mentor is there to make sure that you are not committing hopefully the same mistakes that he or her experienced through the development of their own career. So make sure to be extremely self-aware and be able to say, you know what, I believe that this week I particularly struggled with time management, or this week I had an issue at work with my colleague, which I believe was simply associated to poor communication or expectations management. So be very self-aware of what was wrong and try to propose as well ways to improve it, monitor it, or avoid it in the near future. This is something which on Microsoft we call the growth mindset from that perspective. This is the real added value of the mentorship. Make sure that you are able to catch bad habits in the very early stages of your career, and you can fix them as soon as possible so that your career progressions can be as smoother as possible. How did a mentorship personally help me out? I believe that without my first ever mentor, I wouldn't be here at Microsoft. I wouldn't have an internship at Microsoft, and probably I wouldn't be here neither in Czech Republic, in Prague, where I am right now. So my first mentorship started during my second year of university. I had an introductive call with this person. At the time, he was a senior software engineer at LinkedIn in the United States. LinkedIn, already part of Microsoft at the stage, so extremely interesting company, product, which was still growing at the time and is still growing today. I had a talk with this person, Francesco, and I told her, you know what, I'm right now here in Edinburgh studying software engineering, computing science. One of my final career goals would be to join a company such Microsoft. He said, why it should be your own final career goal? Why you don't try to put the hours in the next 12-14 months to try to get an internship before the end of your university degree program and try to aim for a return offer as full-time software engineer? And that's how it happened, how it started. We actually went on a second call. There we developed a learning plan, a career plan. The first priority was to give me actual time, find the time to prioritize out to studying, training, and CV improvement to then start applying for Microsoft itself. At the time, I was a full-time student and I was as well a full-time employee in an hospitality-related job. So the first priority was to understand what were my own fixed monthly expenses, try to understand what was the average weekly number of hours that I would need to work so that I could just pay my fixed expenses. And I remember to have gained around 20 to 25 hours available for studying and training purposes a week. So that was a great step ahead to make sure that I was able to commit actually on my own mentorship plan. This is extremely important. If you're seeking for mentorship, make sure that you are able to commit into it, especially if there's a free mentorship. So we created our own plan. We set some goals, which were at the time, competitive programming, algorithm, data structures, gaining new skills, which usually students may not have direct experience with after a bachelor degree. For example, cloud computing related knowledge and skills. I joined certain Microsoft programs such as the Microsoft Campus Ambassador program. This allowed me to network with current or ex-Microsoft Ambassador, ex-interns, people who were breathing Microsoft on a daily basis and so on. I improved my own CV, I reviewed, I had a couple of, or actually way more than a couple of mock interviews, few applications, few of them accessible as well, until I got my opportunity to showcase myself and get an offer as an intern software engineer here at Microsoft, working in a new Teams desktop client, and finally a return offer as full-time software engineer. So this is how the mentorship actually impacted my life, my current present, and my current employment as well. I hope you enjoyed the session. Thank you very much for joining me.